and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thanks for tuning back in. Thanks for coming back to see me. I'm really pleased you've done so, and I'm really pleased about to bring you this watch. It's the Pagani design PD-1766. It's coming half the heels of my second Pagani design of the year. Not a new watch, but it's newish. I'm really pleased about to bring it in. It's one that I've got off the AliExpress choice. There's a good reason I bring these videos every month. Unfortunately, I didn't bring one in December because I felt it was too close to the 11/11 sale, so I opted not to. But yeah, they offer some outstanding value, some outstanding choice, should we say, on there. Exceptional value. I bought this all in for £40, which I think represents outstanding value for money in the current climate where everything's getting more expensive. AliExpress choice do seem to have you covered. Not all the time, but if you look around, they have. And I think with this watch, it's a no-brainer really. Sapphire crystal, Seiko VK64 movement inside. Chronograph, good construction, nice dial. It's not perfect, but for the sort of price point you could pick it up, it's looking very, very promising at this point. So hopefully, by the time we get to the end of the video, you know if it's for you. If it is, please use the affiliate link in the description. Doesn't cost you any more money. Just makes your life that bit easier. Sit back, relax. Let's go through it together, and I'll stop going on. So that being said, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys and girls, so this is the watch. This is the packaging it came in. Yet another iteration of the packaging. So a box inside a box, inner foam. Inside there you got a cleaning cloth. You got the watch there, hang tag down the side. I did take out, bear with me 1 second guys. I took out 4 links, you'll see, for it to fit my wrist. So there you are. Like I said, hang tag down the side, instruction. Like there's very, very little instructions really. You got a little booklet and stuff, the usual stuff. But let me just put all this to the side so we can actually look at the watch itself. And here it is. Yeah, really nice. You'll see a distinct lack of AR coating on here, guys. So I do apologise. It is going to go a bit nuts with the lighting. You'd have also seen that in my sort of macro shots. It was a very, very difficult watch to sort of get any decent shots of. So I hope I did okay. But yeah, there's a couple of other colour variations to choose from as well. I'll bring them up now so you can have a look. I like the sort of black dial, sort of like volcanic dial. They're sort of very similar to what I had on my Van Banner. So that's why I opted for this one. But yeah, you got a couple of others to choose from also. This is the PD-1766. Inside this watch, it's running a Seiko VK64 movement. I'll bring some information up about that movement now. Yeah, reasonable chronograph movement. Class has been a Mechaquartz because it's got a sweeping chronograph second hand. Yeah, they're using these movements in lots and lots of watches now, and for good reason. 3-year battery life. Easy just to unscrew the back when it finishes, change it out. Good accuracy, like I said, good reliability. Affordable and a known entity in terms of what you're having in your watch. So yeah, the movement will just run and run. Like I said, just quick replacement when the time comes to change the battery. So there we are. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal, is all 316L stainless steel. So you'll see the high brushed bezel, which is a tachymeter bezel. It goes like a polished surface at the side, brushed at the sides of the case, and the top very thin faceted edge going through the length of the case. You'll see it's got brushed center links, polished outer on the bracelet, polished at the sides as well. Push pins keeping it safe. You've got butterfly clasp all polished. Solid end links, and you've got a mixture of brushing and polishing on the case back as well, and just little bits of information that we're going to run through generally. But yeah, good level of brushing and polishing actually, especially for the price. I think it looks very, very sharp, and you'll be able to see that now in terms of the way it's done. The polishing is done to a good standard as well. Nice mirror finish. The case thickness of the watch is 12.5 millimeters. The case diameter, I measure sort of in between the crown and pushers. It was coming at 39.8 millimeters, and when you go from the 9 to the 3, including the crown, I've left that unscrewed for now. But yeah, it's coming at 43 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20. That does taper down to 18 mil at that butterfly clasp. No signage on there, unfortunately. And the lug to lug, tip to tip, you'll see is a true length of the watch, given it's got female end links to the center link, and it's coming in at 48.2 millimeters. So pretty good proportions there, guys. I think you'll agree. The bezel, as I've already mentioned, is a fully brushed tachymeter bezel. So yeah, you can sort of time stuff and everything else. The crown is situated at the 3 o'clock. It is a screw down crown. The pushes at 2 and 4 will run through when I look at the dial But yeah, you've got 2 pushers in the crown, which is screwed down, and the pushers are not. The case back is screwed down, as I showed you just a moment ago. Just some bits of information on there. Like I said, this will make it really, really easy to unscrew when the time comes to change the battery out. So there we are. The bracelet is really, really comfortable. I've been really impressed with the bracelet, actually. It's one that is actually really, really comfy, well finished. I don't know that I'm a huge fan of polished outer brush center. I'd rather be all brushed, but they're sort of, they're just copying the way it's done on the watch. It's homaging, isn't it, aren't they? So there we are. Nice bit of taper down to that butterfly clasp. As I said, all polished. Double safety pushers just to make it easy to open as and when you want to. The crystal covering the dial is a sapphire crystal, and as I've already mentioned, you can quite clearly see there's no AR coating on there, but it's sapphire crystal nonetheless, because I did actually test it. Let's put that running back again, so we'll see the, actually one second, let me move this about there, crown back in, there we are. Yeah, sapphire crystal. The water resistance you'll see on the down at the 6 o'clock position, it's like there's been 100 meters, so that'd give you 10 atmospheres of water resistance, and the weight will appear just in the top right. It's just almost 136.5 grams with 4 links removed. With those 4 links back in, you're probably touching about 150, 160 grams, which, given the sort of dimensions of the watch, given it's all stainless steel, is a reasonable amount of heft, and probably in line with what you'd expect, to be honest. But let's have a look at the dial in just a bit more detail. So it's a sandwich dial. Nothing's been applied onto the dial as such. You've got 2 dials that are sort of sandwiched, cut out. You've got battens everywhere, except for the 12 o'clock where you've got an inverted triangle. You've got smaller battens. You'll see at the 3 and 9, which are making way for the sub dials. You'll also see you've got Pagani design. Looks like you've got applied logo just below the inverted triangle at the 12. Pagani design printed on just below that. Either side of the batten at the 6, you've got Japan movement, highlighting the fact it's a Seiko VK64 running inside. And above that, you've got Chronograph, 100 meters, 330 feet. The hands are all high polished. I think they look really nice. I like the way they've done the hands. I think they're good. Decent proportions on them as well. I think the second hand maybe is a bit shorter. Then it probably could have been about a mil longer. But no problems really. The proportions are good. High polished. You've got the faux Tina in there as well, just to sort of make it look a bit more vintage. It is all looms. I'll bring the loom up now. Yes, guys, that's the loom. That was me just having it in normal conditions, turning all the studio lights off and recording it. It was extremely poor, really, really poor. I wasn't going to try and even charge it. I want it to be pretty conclusive to what you'd expect yourself, and yeah, very, very disappointing. But yeah, there we go. As I said, nice sort of black dial. I really like the sort of texture. I do like textured dials. I've said it many, many times. You've got the sub dial at the 3 o'clock position. That's the 24 hours. So that's currently highlighting that it is 10 past 8 in the evening on this watch. And you've got the sub dial at the 9 o'clock position, which is the minutes for the seconds. So you'll see the chronograph hands going around now. Once it goes through past 12 again, it will go up one more, which you'll see in just a moment. Like I said, I think it's done really, really well in terms of just the way it looks, really. Like I said, no points for originality, but I think they've done an exceptional job, especially for the price, in terms of how they've put this together. Like I said, lots and lots going on. And you'll see now, as we go past the 12, the sub-dial hand, there we go. So it goes through gradually, but now it's saying I've been counting down for 2 minutes. If you want to stop it, you press it again, the one at the 2, and you want to reset it, you press the one at the 4, and there we go. And like I said, I showed you before, if you take the crown out, you can change the time and stuff. There is a ghost position because the VK64 is a date movement, but I haven't put a date on here. I did go for a huge time where I used to mention ghost positions quite a lot. I don't do that anymore. It doesn't seem to be something that people are that bothered about. But that's all that, guys. That's the movement, that's the dial, that's everything going on. Let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it's like on my wrist. Okay, so guys, you'll see it's a little bit looser than I would normally wear it. That's because you don't really get any half links and there's no micro adjust. So in terms of getting it to fit you, it may be a little bit difficult in terms of too tight or too loose, or you might get lucky, but yeah, it's a bit looser than I would normally wear it. But that's what it looks like. I think it's a really, really pretty watch, really well made. and another solid addition to the new year. So there we are. Okay, so guys and girls, that'll now take me swiftly on to what I think is pants and pucker about the watch. If you've ever watched before, you'll know I always start with pants. I like to go on a high with pucker. So what I'm going to say for pants is not a huge amount because everything's relative to the price. But there are 3 things I want to mention. Obviously the loom. It doesn't really need loom, but it doesn't seem like they put any on anyway. So it doesn't really matter, does it? Because I'm quite astonished at how poor the loom is, if I'm honest. I was not expecting that. That's as poor as I've had on a Pagani design watch for a long time. So the loom, lack of AR coating, just make it, obviously for me recording it makes it very difficult, but just for legibility generally, it does make it a bit tricky. So a bit of AR coating would have been nice. And as I've also mentioned, I'm just going to go over how it fits in terms of getting it to fit your wrist with no half links. The links are not as big as some, but getting it to fit your wrist is going to be, you're going from heroes to zero really, because you're either going to get lucky or you're not. So yeah, how it fits. They're the 3 things I mentioned: the loom, lack of AR coating, and how it fits. And what I think is pucker, given the price, I'm always going to mention sapphire crystal. I think it's also always nice to have a bit of sapphire over covering the dial. The sandwich dial, I think that's really nice. A nice sandwich dial. Generally, that normally leads to better loom, given they can apply it underneath, but that's not the case here. The hands, I do like the way the hands are done. They really do shine nicely, nicely finished, nice high polish, done to a high level, I would say, especially for the money. The Fotina, I'm not a fan, but I think on this sort of watch, given what it looks like against that the backdrop of the dial and stuff, I think the Fotina looks cool. The movement, getting a Seiko VG64 Mechaquartz movement inside your watch at an affordable price, yeah, it's going to be applauded. It's better than having an unknown chronograph movement, do you know what I mean? So yeah, all good. The bracelet on this is fantastic. I think it's super comfortable. Not a huge fan of the polished outer bits, if I'm honest, but yeah, I do think the bracelet's really, really comfy. And finally, the price. I think the price, I bought this for about £38 all in. That was like with the reductions, and I had tax added on, but £38, I think that is just a bit of a steal, isn't it, for what you're getting. But guys and girls, let's just go through what I think is puckers. I'll go with the sapphire crystal, the sandwich dial, hands, Fotina movement, bracelet, and price of the watch. And would I recommend the watch? I think it's still a great option, £40. And it's not a Casio. I think it's unbelievable that you can get these sort of watches with these specs that would just last and last for that sort of money. So I definitely would still recommend it. Don't expect too much in terms of the, like I said, with the loom and AR coating, but the bracelet hopefully will fit you nicely. You can always change it out as well, 20mm lug, so you can always put it on a different strap. But yeah, I would recommend it, guys. But please let me know what you think about this watch, more importantly, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch the time. Take care, guys. All the very best.